Jake Burns, JBCI. I want to show you Dos Amigos, the old Out of Bounds. A lot of passion into this project. I remember going to Out of Bounds with my dad, watching football games, watching punk rock shows here, playing in punk rock shows here. The dive bar for decades and decades, the place to be. We had to gut everything. We took it all the way down to the wood studs. We took out every plumbing fixture, all the entire underground plumbing, all the electrical. We had to start off fresh. We had a chance to show our hometown what we're all about. So we are a general contracting company, but there are no clipboards around here. We did all this work in-house, very little subbed out. All the framing, the plumbing, the electrical, all the concrete work, the rebar, the tile, drywall, mud, tape, paint, FRP, setting up all the fixtures, everything. That's all my team. We all did that in-house. All right, we got the demo done. This place was a wreck. We had to get rid of beer stains and all sorts of things over decades and decades. Scrubbed the whole place with the toothbrush. Got nice clean four walls. No drywall, nothing in the place. Foundation was basically non-existent. We had to come in, go to where all the steel risers were. There was no footings holding this building up. I was surprised the building was still held up on its own. Come in, saw cut, get rid of the old concrete, put new massive footings in, all new rebar. We had to get the place back to a structurally sound before we could even get started on the fun stuff. After we demoed everything, we got our four walls. We weren't going to use anything existing, none of the old plumbing, so it really didn't matter where the restrooms were. Let's put them in the right spot this time. So what we had to do, the restrooms were located in the front. We put them back in the back. That was saw cutting, new trenches, brand new lateral line coming out, running all of our new plumbing underground, running our hot water, cold water, everything you name it for a restroom, all the way back out to the street, all new plumbing line, everything's fresh. They're gonna be here for 30 years without a problem. If Cantina's in your name, it better be good. So we had to make sure that this was done right. Building a number of different bars, over 300 restaurants. We know this area. This is where we shine. We wanted concrete countertops, something that would last. We had to embed the scupper rails that we show over here. We got 2 jockey box stations over on this side. Walk-in cooler behind me with the glycol system with the taps that come out. Drainage had to map out. In this area, you don't have a lot of chances to do things over. You gotta get it done right. You gotta get it done the first time, and it's got to work, and it's got to work for years. We're happy with this. We're happy the way this came out. Can't wait for you guys to see it. Yeah, my still guy made that. It's badass. I was so stoked on that. All right, we got the restrooms in the right spot. We got the bar in the right spot. We got all the seating where we wanted to go. We're left over with a pretty small sliver of only 280 square feet. We had to manage to fit a 14-foot cook line in there, 3-compartment sink, a prep sink, an entire server station. We had to fit a make line system, cold line system. There was no room for air. Everything was all sandwiched in there. We had to get it right under a tight deadline. Had to get the equipment in without any mistakes. We were able to accomplish that only because we've done this over 300 times. Normally you demo a project down to the last 4 walls. On this project, we had to do it to the last 3 because this wall all the way down here had to go. We wanted to add these new 3 roll-up doors over here, which added new structural work to everything, bringing it all up to the current code. All new framing, waterproofing, stucco, structural work, foundations, everything you can think of, all to achieve these 3 roll-up doors. We're in Huntington Beach. The weather's beautiful out here. The sun shines up, the wind's blowing. This is the kind of atmosphere you want to be. And when you're sitting in there and you want to enjoy the outside, it's just a click of a button. We've created our environment for the inside, but being in Huntington Beach, you still got to have a patio. So we built this out, long banquette, formed, placed all the concrete ourselves with our own team. Of course, we got to have an area for everybody to ride their bike cruisers. Made this area decomposed granite on the floors, nice area for everybody to lock up their bikes, and we still managed to come up with a takeout window off to the side. All right, we got Robert Corrigan here. Been working together with this guy for 8 years. Cannot say enough good things about him.
JBCI has built 4 restaurants for us. All had completely different challenges, and Jake and his staff were able to really help us out, problem solve, work within our budgets and constraints that were out there. Even during COVID, when parts were very difficult to find, he was able to really access a lot of stuff that we were not getting good answers on from others. We really have a great relationship. Like I said, we've worked with him for over 8 years. His construction of our buildings, you know, from the ground up on some of them really holds up over time. One at 8 years, we have one at 6 years, and we have one at 4, and we have one at 2. And they're all holding up very well. Our problems that we have with them are not in construction. We continue to use them for any projects that we have just because of the relationship, one, but also because of the quality of the work and the craftsmanship from his guys that run his teams, their communication level, the email, everything is just fantastic for us. And we really appreciate working with somebody that's communicative, especially when you're dealing with contractors, because sometimes you can run up that pole and it doesn't really work. You know, especially when you're doing buildings like Dos Amigos, or one of our Huntington locations that's been open for 2 years. We started as a small project and turned into this major project to rebuild almost the entire building. And it is a fantastic building. It looks clean. It holds up very well. Their knowledge level from everything from working on the engineering of footings to the plumbing to the electrical, all of his subs that he works with do a great job too, and I have great relationships with all of them. So will I use JBCI in the future? Absolutely. I think people would be remiss if they didn't at least talk to them to try and get some type of pricing or look at what they do, because I refer them to everybody I possibly can just because of the quality of the work and what they do.
Thank you, Robert.
You're welcome.
Thanks for checking out Dos Amigos in our hometown, built by my crew. It was so fun to be a part of this thing and to see it and be a customer and be involved. We've got most of our employees 10 to 15 to 17 years since day one. You don't hire me, you hire my family, all of my employees. We take care of you. We're down the street. We want to see you strive. You can always count on JBCI. Check out our other videos. Look us up. Thanks again.